On this episode of Delivering Marketing Joy, we talk with Brandon Mackay from Snugs about how to create innovative products and why he's all in on video. Hey there, and welcome to another edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. I'm your host, Kirby Hasseman, and joining me today is a rock star, and I know it because he was just in the Power 50, Brandon Mackay. He's the president and CEO of Snugs. Brandon, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I've loved being here, so thanks for asking me.
Absolutely. So, we both live in the promotional products world, so our industry can be a very crowded marketplace. You know that. So, for a while, I think people thought of Snugs as one thing. I did. And I think you guys are definitely branching out. I see you doing different things. So what are some things you're doing to stand out in the marketplace?
Well, I think Snugs has kind of just been this place where anomalies go to have growth. So our first product, believe it or not, was an eyeglass retainer. So,
Okay.
It would go on your sunglasses, safety glasses, and things just kind of experimented from there. So obviously we developed and moved into the lanyard market. Mm-hmm. And thanks to a distributor who mentioned that we should get into the market. So that was very cool.
Cool.
And from there, it's just kind of by mistake sometimes. So we got into doing logoed lip balm by mistake, and then that evolved into sanitizer, then sunscreens, and then lotions. And then we kind of pivoted from there. We had a couple failures. We kind of tried to launch some things within the industry that the industry wasn't ready for. And, we kind of just test different things. We tested the Zen line, which is essential oils and soaps and candles. And that one seemed to get some traction pretty immediately. Okay. Last year, we introduced Soul Kicks, which was the custom rented shoes. Yeah. And then last but not least, we introduced a higher end line of handcrafted leather goods. And that one has had tremendous success, which is bizarre because we are really kind of that sub $2 product category price point go-to company, and this has catapulted us into the double-digit stuff, which is great.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that, and I guess that's what I noticed, right? From the outside looking in, I'm like, oh, well, hey, this seems like a departure, and so I'm really glad that that's going well. The other thing I know about you guys is everybody talks about video. Certainly I'm in on video. I do a lot with that. But you guys are doing some really cool video stuff. You guys are in. So why have you decided? Why have you decided to go all in on video?
Well, a few years ago, I kind of had this suspicion or this hunch that video was starting to take off, not just for content marketing. It was just vlogging was taking off. The social hits that were attributed to create a video was just starting to skyrocket. And for whatever reason, Utah has been a hotbed of vloggers.
Okay.
And some of the most creative ones that, have come out of here. And so access to it was always available to me. Mm-hmm. And one day on a whim, I just reached out to Jeff Anderton, who at the time was living in Colorado. And I said, hey, Jeff, this is my vision. This is where I want to go with just creating really good content video. None of this crapboard, this whiteboard marker stuff or where people are trying to do funny things, but we wanted to put together a really good media house type quality videos. And he and I just started brainstorming the stuff, and then we started off with a couple then, and then a couple didn't feed the habit, and Jeff had to be full time, and here we are today. But we really try to focus on how can we create a agency video for the promo arena, and that's really our focus now. We want agency quality, but the production is in-house.
Yeah, dude. I just got a chance to hang out with them and you, of course. They're at SKU Camp, and they're just some great guys, and they do tremendous work. I agree with you. If for those watching, if you haven't had a chance to check out some of the videos that your guys have produced, they should definitely run out and check them out. They're really good. You kind of mentioned this earlier. If you've been in business for any amount of time, right, any period of time, you're going to have some failures, especially if you're trying new things like you guys have done. So can you think of any specific lesson you've learned from one of your failures?
No, I think the specific lesson that I tell everybody is, the promotional products is a long-term investment.
Yeah.
There's no get-rich-quick scheme in the promo arena. So if you have an idea, if you want to invest $100,000 or $1 million and you want ROI in 3 years, it's probably not the space for you. But if you want a long-term play, be willing to risk and risk often. You know, the products that we risked and didn't develop, and you know, some would say, hey, you shot an air ball. I think taught us really good lessons. But oftentimes we brought equipment in-house to facilitate those that open doors to other products down the road.
No, that's
so we looked at it a failure, but it was just turned out to be a home run later.
So can I dig into that? Because I know this. I'm going off script here, certainly from our question. But like when you look at a line like that, or you look at a new product or whatever, are there any like things that you kind of put yourself in a box and say, look, I'm willing to invest this much, but until there's return? Is there any formula or anything like that you use?
I think in the past it was kind of use every ounce of resource that we had left, capitalize,
okay,
and hope for the best. I would say in the last 2 years, our CFO has done a better job. She's done actually a great job of drawing a box around me.
I like it.
Making me vet this out prior to launch to kind of just make this thing reside inside of a budget. And, you know, one is probably not as fun for me.
Fair.
You know, I kind of like to write checks my body can't cash sometimes. But you know, she's drawn a box around me that I think has made the launch of Traverse very successful.
No, that's so awesome. Well, hey, dude, you have answered my 3 questions, and I even gave you a bonus one. So you've answered my questions. I give everybody a chance to ask me one. Do you have one for me?
Yeah, I mean, I think that my question always for distributors is, you know, as the space of marketing is changing and the space of promo, I think, is becoming one of the most successful means of media. People always say, hey, you know, well, Facebook is so big, or social so big, or billboards are great, or commercials are great, you know, but I look at probably promo as the best media advertising, you know, dollar for dollar that you can get out there. How can we help distributors or our partners? You guys are exclusively our partners. We have no other channel of generating revenue outside of you. How do we help you sell our products exclusively and not sell just the price point or sell exactly what the customer asks for?
Man, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? Like, so, you know, I'm going to try and take kind of a rounded approach to this, because
sure.
So one of the things I think that we as distributors struggle at is everybody's trying to bite at the same apple, right? And what I talk about all the time is that whenever that happens, it means we're at the end of the conversation. And to your point, this is one of the most valuable advertising spaces that the world has. And we need to be at the front end of the conversation, right? So and what I mean by that is when the campaign is being created, we need a seat at the table so that we can just help discuss. And maybe, like you said, maybe billboards is the right arena for that, but we need to be a part of that original conversation, not fighting for scraps at the end of the table. And so how can you help with that? I think, again, it's about partnering with distributors who understand that and get that. And then you arming us with information, and just like what you've done, again, I'm going to, like the Soul Kicks campaign, I think that's super cool. And so partnering with distributors who get that and are going to build entire campaigns where your products are a part of it. It takes price point out of it. It's about an entire campaign. It's not about one sale. And so from my perspective, your point's right on, in the sense that we're your window to the world on that, but I think it's a matter of trying to get with distributors who get that you have a unique proposition, and to do that, I think they need to have a unique proposition too.
Sure.
Makes sense?
Absolutely.
That's cool.
I think the distributor partner, I mean, we're lucky. We have just the luxury of dealing with some amazing people that are just incredibly creative. So super blessed. No complaints.
Cool. Well, Brandon, thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're a busy guy, and we'll have to do it again, okay?
Love to. Thank you.
All right, thanks. So that wraps up this edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. We'll see you next time.